Hi everyone, I'm Tom and today I'm going to be showing you Stroganov Turukhan, which is a brand new expansion that is on Kickstarter right now. I'll put a link to the campaign page in the description and the corner of the screen if you'd like to see the final stuff, how you can make it happen. All of the base game I've got is from the final version, of course, but the expansion components are prototypes. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a quick overview of each of the 4 new modules to the game. If you are new to the game in general, or you would like to see it in action, I am going to do a 2-player playthrough, which will hopefully be linked in the description as well. Both of these videos were commissioned by Game Brewer, the publisher of the game. So let's jump in. Module 1 is the Siberian Chipmunk. For this module, 10 Siberian Chipmunks have been added to the fur bag, and there are 4 different traveling merchant tiles. You use 1 in each game, and they start in Region 2. Chipmunks are a pest in the game. They have a value of 1. You can still exchange them with the market if you want to, by exchanging any 2 furs for any 1 that's in the market, but you can't do the exchange of a horse and a single fur to get a fur of a lesser value because their value is 0. They can still be used with a coin to make them wild, like you can with any other fur in the game. So in one way, they're a bit of a nuisance. They're getting in the way of you getting to the more valuable furs. Because remember, when you're hunting, you take the lowest value thing, or pay horses to skip to the more valuable ones. Just getting in your way a bit. The main use of them, though, is with the traveling merchant. The traveling merchant wants these chipmunks. If you are in the region with the merchant, or you've got an outpost there, then you can trade with this merchant, and they want either 1 or 2 chipmunk furs, and they'll give you different benefits depending on which tiles out. So this one in particular will give you a point and 3 movement on the story track for 1 fur, or if you can give him 2, he'll give you 3 points and 6 story points. And the different ones might give you horses or coins or furs from the bag. It's an advanced action, so if you can pay the relevant fur for the region, you can do this twice in a turn if you've got the fur to pay for the extra action and you have got the chipmunk furs to satisfy the merchant, and they will move up the regions as the game goes along, ending up in the rightmost. Module 2 is the hunting plan. So there are 6 different hunting plan tiles, and every player has got a hunting plan marker now. These are dealt in setup with the starting Tsar wishes and starting fur tile. So another thing to think about when you're deciding which one to take, basically whenever you hunt the next animal along on your hunting plan, you will get rewarded, even in setup. So in this case, if I'd happened to start with a 6 fur, then I could have moved straight down on this track. But anytime you hunt, and it's only when you're hunting this specific animal, then you can move your marker down. And then anytime you want to fulfill one of the wish cards, you can move your track back up. And for every step you do that, you get a discount on the requirement you need. You still need to pay for all the fur in red. So if I had 2 steps up my track, I could move those 2 steps. I don't have to have 3 fox furs anymore. I only need 1, the one I need to pay. You can't get that discounted. It can make it easier for you to fulfill these wish cards, sometimes by doing what you were going to do anyway. Module 3 is extra terrain tiles, and we do start out the game with a couple on the board. The rightmost terrain tiles in regions 4 and 5 have some of these new ones marked A. There are 4 A's and 4 B's, and in a lot of ways they work similarly to the normal terrain tiles. They have some furs on them, restricted by 3 players as well as 4. Like the rest of the tiles, it's only they get fewer furs in a 4-player game. For the purposes of scoring your terrain sets at the end of the game, they count for any of the main sets. So it can make it easier to get your bonuses at the end of the game. And rather than one-off rewards like the other terrain tiles, they can give you ongoing benefits. This here is the horse breeder. From now on, whenever you buy a fur from the market, you only need to pay 3 horses rather than the usual 5. The excellent salesman, when you get this card, you take a fur from the bag, and as always when you're getting something from the bag, draw 2, keep 1, and put it on the tile. For the rest of the game, for you only, that fur is wild. And there's also the Wilderness Guide. When you're doing a second advanced action each turn, you can pay any fur, not the specific one that the region requires. And the Huntsman, when you're doing the hunting track action, you can pay any fur to advance rather than the one that your track requires next. And in winter, you get a free hunting track action immediately after you get your horse income. Now, at the end of the round, when we refill these terrain tiles, if there are gaps in the 3rd space of region 5 probably if someone's taken 1 or even 4, then they get replenished with the A's if possible. Later on, when we move to the B phase of the game, all of the A tiles that are still out get removed and get replaced with one of these B tiles. Now there's a different bit of scoring on the back of these. That's because they belong to a new terrain tile set. They can be added to any of the existing types. So now, as well as getting 3 points for 3 different, 6 points for 4 different, you could potentially earn 10 points for each set of 5 different terrain tiles that you've got at the end of the game. And the B tiles will let you spend banners to do things. So there's the Settlement of Yurt. When you get it, and at the start of every summer, you can spend a banner to activate the ability on that tile. They also give you some scoring. So at the end of the game, every 2 story points you've got are worth a point to you. The Silver Mine lets you spend a banner to get 2 coins when you get it, and at the start of every summer that's left. And at the end of the game, every coin you've got is worth a point. Tiger Rock lets you spend a banner in the same way to get a tiger fur. Wild fur are all worth 2 points each. And at the end of the game, every tiger fur is worth 3 points rather than the 2. Or is it 2 points? Because no, for you, every tiger fur is worth 3 points at the end of the game. And the Primordial Forest, you can spend a banner to get 2 furs from the bag, and at the end of the game, every single fur is worth a point. The final module is Diplomacy. We have this big track at the top of the board here. It's got bonus tiles randomly put across it. It's got a terrain type on there, only 1 for each game, and every terrain tile that we've got out here with that type has got a diplomacy marker on it, because the Tsar has special plans for the people who inhabit specific areas in Siberia. Whenever you end your movement phase on a diplomacy space, at the start of your actions, before you actually take any actions, you can choose to donate a fur, should you have any and want to the local population as goodwill. So I could do that on my next turn. They go on the right-hand side of the board, so they can't be hunted like the usual ones on the left-hand side. And they add to the cost of getting a tile. So the tile usually costs you 2 of the relevant furs on the region, plus 1 for every fur still on it. Well, these count as furs on it, so make it more expensive. But as usual, the person buying the landscape tile gets all of these furs off it as well. Why would you want to donate furs though? And why would you ever donate such a valuable fur? Because the value of the fur that you donate is the number of steps you're going to advance on the diplomacy track. If you spend a coin when you're doing your donation, it automatically becomes any value you want. So you probably want an 8. Move those big 8 steps up. So I could move 8 steps up the diplomacy track. Whenever you reach or pass bonuses, you get them. So you can get yourself coins, tiles from the bag, tiles from the market, story points, horses, and later on, a tiger tile and 3 points. You skip over other players' tokens. You don't count those spaces. But as well as the immediate benefit, there is an ongoing one in scoring. Each winter, players will look at the zones that they are in. So I am in zone 2, for example. Marty here is in zone 0. You subtract the lowest player's zone from all the other players' zones, and you get that many points. So if we were in this situation at the end of winter, I would get myself 2 points. So you probably don't want to let someone completely run away with that, because potentially you could be getting 10 points at the end of every winter. But that's a lot of furs donated to be able to do that. But it's also a lot of bonuses grabbed too. So there we go. Those are the 4 new modules for Stroganov Turukhan. We've got the Siberian Chipmunks being a bit of a pest, getting in the way of you getting to the more valuable furs, but having a very valuable use at the trader. The hunting plan, where if you hunt the right things in the right order, you can get big discounts on fulfilling your wish cards. The new terrain tiles that can help you make sets or make even more valuable sets and give you ongoing bonuses for the rest of the game. And the diplomacy track, which can give you big bonuses and potentially huge points if you will donate your hard-earned furs to specific regions. As I said at the start, I've also done a full 2-player playthrough for the game with the expansion modules turned on. So if you'd like to see it in action, click the link in the description for that. And remember, the campaign page is there as well, so you can see all of the final stuff, how to make it happen, all of those things. If you'd like to see more from me, you could subscribe to the channel. There's loads and loads of playthroughs at this point in time. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye, everyone.